When creating new customers in the TechMan system, this is typically done when booking a job. However, you can also add them directly from your Customers tab. Hover over the Customers tab at the top of the TechMan system and select All Customers. In this screen, we can search for and manage existing customers. But let's create a new one by selecting the New Customers option in the top right corner. Let's start by using the postcode lookup field to obtain the address. Enter the postcode and click the search icon. Then choose the relevant address from the options displayed. Now let's select a title from the drop-down menu. Enter a first name and last name. Next up is the Hear About Us drop-down field. From here, you can select from where you acquired this new customer. Did they find you on social media? Or were you recommended to them by a friend? This is a useful tool to track how you are getting your new business. The Customer Groups field allows you to select from any pre-created groups you'd like to keep track of in your customer database. This might be categorizing your customers into groups such as account, electrical work, council. If you have multiple sites, then the next field, default site, will allow you to assign the relevant site to the new customer. This can be useful if you have multiple branches and would like to ensure that your customers are set up to reflect the branch they will use within your business. The accounting code field is used if you'd like to add a unique identifier to this customer beyond their TechMan customer number. These are often required when exporting to certain accounting softwares. The accounting department drop-down field allows you to select from multiple departments you might want to report against in TechMan. For example, you may have a workshop and a body shop department. This would then allow you to run accounting reports against each of your accounting departments. If the new customer being added is an account customer, then ensure you tick Account Customer. This allows you to filter when running statements and reports. Additionally, your invoiced account customer jobs will not display on the dashboard, but will instead show when you run their statement. Next, you have the option to select a sales tax code. This will default to your standard rate. Additionally, you can select whether or not VAT is applied to products and labour carried out for this customer. But don't worry, taxable will be ticked by default. Priority messages can be set for a customer, and this will then display the next time you attempt to book a job for them. It will display at the top of the customer information in a triangular warning box. If you need to go a step further than a priority message, you also have the ability to put this customer on stop. This will display a red warning banner when attempting to next book this customer in, alerting you to not proceed with the booking and instead check the notes or job history. Payment terms can be added as a number. This will allow you to see the time intervals you've set for this customer when running statements. In cases where you would like to ensure a customer reference is obtained before invoicing a customer, make sure you've ticked Require Customer Reference for Invoice. Now we can enter some contact information. Let's start by adding an email address in the email field. If you'd like to record additional email addresses, simply add a semicolon and continue entering the next address. Next, let's enter a telephone number and give it a description. To record additional telephone numbers, this can be achieved by clicking on the blue plus icon on the left to create additional number and description fields. Lastly, let's assign the notification preferences for this customer. Starting with notifications enabled, you have the option to select yes, no, or unknown. This is whether the customer would like to receive correspondence regarding jobs or estimates. And on the right, we have vehicle reminders. Again, you have the option to select yes, no, or unknown. This is to opt in to receive MOT, service, or any other vehicle reminder set up in your TechMan system. Finally, the marketing opt-in is whether your customers are happy receiving news, offers, and promotions. You must again select between yes, no, and unknown. Once all the information you require has been entered, let's click the Save button at the bottom of the screen. Now we've created a new customer. There is a Customer Notes box beneath the Save button, in which we can record and detail notes regarding the customer and enter a follow-up date. We also have access to additional tabs to manage the customer. Firstly, we have the ability to add a customer contract if they have particular rates relating to labour or products. We can select a pre-existing template from our Contract Templates drop-down box. Alternatively, We can create a new labor or product contract ad hoc. We must associate the corresponding labor unit or product that this is going to apply to. Then add a unique contract price. Next, the Vehicles associated with this customer tab allows us to add vehicles to this customer by entering their registration in the Reg lookup and hitting Enter, or by clicking Add Vehicle. This may be relevant if it is a retail customer with several cars, or maybe an account customer with a number of vehicles. Once created, we can start a new job or new estimate from this line, or disassociate the vehicle entirely from the customer record. Scheduled job groups will display any previously created scheduled jobs for this customer's vehicles. For example, you may work and see an account customer's truck every 6 weeks for an inspection. This feature, however, is only available on the Advanced and Pro levels of TechMan. In the Customer Job History tab, you will be able to see a list of all the customer's vehicle history, whether current or previously associated. You will also be able to access the jobs from this screen. Similarly to the previous tab, the Customer Estimate History will display all previous estimates for this customer and their vehicles. The final tab is Customer Parts Only Sales History, which will display the previous invoices for the sales of parts exclusively. However, the Parts Only Sales feature is available exclusively on the Advanced and Pro levels of TechMan. Thanks for watching. For further assistance, feel free to visit our help centre to reach out to our support team. We're always here to help.